Getting rid of your rubbish could cost a bit more, with the government eyeing big boosts to the cost of dumping waste in landfills. Under a proposal announced this morning, the landfill levy will rise from $10 a tonne to as much as $60 a tonne by 2023. New Zealanders have sent more than 30 million tonnes of trash to the tip over the past 10 years, and the volumes being dumped continue to climb. The government says charging Kiwis more to get rid of their waste will encourage recycling, but there's concern it will create more illegal dumping instead. Christchurch reporter Anan Zaki has the story.
At Christchurch's Eco Drop, getting rid of some household junk, an old couch, a desk, a mattress, along with other bits and pieces of general rubbish weighing 200 kilograms, will currently cost $53.98. And that's without the cost of hiring a trailer if you don't own one. But under the government's proposed changes, that could be up to $10 higher by 2023. The increased levy will mean dumping costs rise to as much as $60 a tonne, but that will vary across the country depending on the council and the tip. Associate Environment Minister Anan Zaki says the increase is needed to encourage people to recycle.
The volumes of waste going to landfill are rising, and incredibly, New Zealand is one of the highest producers of municipal waste in the developed world per capita. So in the last 10 years, we sent nearly 30 million tonnes of waste to municipal landfills around the country.
Half of the revenue raised from the levy will go to councils to fund resource recovery and other waste-related infrastructure. The remaining money will go to the Waste Minimisation Fund, which provides grants for waste reduction. Anan Zaki isn't fazed by the possibility of a rise in fly tipping as a result of the increased costs.
What councils need to do is focus on enforcement, and Auckland Council has made a major investment in countering fly tipping by more enforcement. In terms of the impact on individual households, it's estimated that it would be about 30 cents a rubbish bag.
Ms Sage says the revenue from the levy could potentially be used in the future towards enforcement costs. But the levy will also be extended to cover other landfill types such as construction and demolition, which is one of the country's biggest waste producers. Those rubbish types face a potential levy of $20 per tonne. Lionel Green, who's a director at Canterbury Demolition, says that will be a kick in the guts for small companies like his.
At the height of after the earthquakes, what's been dumped today, there's thousands of tonnes, so it's a lot of money involved. And like I said before, that in every of this is going to be a cost to the client.
Mr Green says if Canterbury Demolition cannot compete with larger firms, he fears it will be priced out of the market. Meanwhile, on the streets of Christchurch, opinion was mixed on the potential rise in the cost of dumping waste.
If you're a low-income earner, a lot of people aren't going to do that because they just can't afford it. So they're going to obviously, not saying that everyone's going to do it, but there's going to be the ones that are just going to just chuck it on the side of the street and expect the rubbish guys to pick it up for them because they just can't afford to take it themselves.
I don't have a problem paying extra if it's going to help in the long run with community side of things, so yeah.
Depends what the waste reduction projects are, I guess, doesn't it? And I guess the council, they're always grabbing money where they can, don't they?
The National Party's environment spokesperson Scott Simpson has criticised the proposal. He says the levy rate will not only cost households more, but will lead to more fly tipping. Consultation on the landfill levy expansion is now open and will close in February next year. In Christchurch for Checkpoint, ko Anan Zaki tēnei.